Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. Fist Fight is the new movie that stars Charlie Day and Ice Cube. And it is a comedy movie based around a school. Now, the premise here for this movie is it is the last day of term at this school. It seems like it's a pretty rough school. All the kids are pulling pranks. It's all going a bit crazy. And everybody turns up for this last day, the teachers, and Charlie Day plays a teacher who's fairly nervous, fairly uncertain about himself, unconfident, bit twitchy, bit bit like a bit of a weasel really. And Ice Cube is like the hardcore teacher. He's the teacher who really all the teachers, teachers and children are terrified of. And all this stuff's going off on the last day. And basically, to cut a long story short, Charlie Day's character tells on Ice Cube to the principal, gets him in trouble and gets him sacked. And as a result of that, Ice Cube basically says to Charlie Day, I'm going to fight you at the end of the school day and I'm going to beat you up. And from that moment on, shenanigans take place. And it escalates and escalates because Charlie Day clearly obviously doesn't want to fight him. And he tries every single trick in the book to try and get out of this. To bribery, corruption, planting drugs, bribing students, anything you can think of really. He tries everything in his power to get out of this fight. And none of it really works in the way that he hopes. So that's kind of the story here. Now, I really like Charlie Day. I think he's a very talented comedy actor. I've liked him in most of everything I've seen, both Horrible Bosses and Pacific Rim. I thought he was great in that. And again, the role he plays in this movie is impressive. He's Charlie Day. He's playing the Charlie Day character, but it's charming. It's charming to see him on screen and what he does. He almost in this film he kind of reminded me of a little bit like Hugh Grant in Four Weddings and a Funeral, like a bumbling idiot, tripping over his own words and really unconfident. And if you watch Four Weddings and a Funeral or a lot of Hugh Grant's early performances when he was younger, you can kind of see some similarities in how they perform. But it's charming, and he does really well in this movie. He's very funny when he needs to be. And to see he does have a nice arc in this movie. He starts off as like a whimpering coward almost, unconfident, and by the end, he has a nice arc by the end of the movie, which was nice to see in a comedy movie like this. Ice Cube, he's just Ice Cube. He's just the hard man. He isn't given an awful lot to do. What I would say, the weakness for the Ice Cube character is they don't give you anything at all to like about him. He's not just a hard ass with the students at the school. He's awful to the teachers too. Now you could understand it if a teacher was really rough and tough with the students, because there needs to be, because it's a rough school. But when at the beginning of the movie, the way he talks to the teachers as well is just shocking. There's no respect for them either. So they don't give you an awful lot to like about his character at all. So you do end up really rooting for Charlie Day in this movie. But he's such an idiot, and the schemes he gets up to are so idiotic. You end up kind of not really rooting for him anymore, because it's just like facepalm time with some of the stuff he's doing. It's just they're not normal rational decisions that you would make in these situations. But I have to say, I did enjoy this movie as a comedy. It's not a side-splitting comedy. You're not going to laugh consistently throughout this movie. But when the laughs, when they are there, they're funny, and they do make you laugh, genuinely laugh. And it does have a certain charm to it, this movie. So overall, I would have to say that I did enjoy it. I don't think it's gonna change the way you think about any of these actors in this movie. It's not a standout comedy. It is just a very it's a decent comedy, basically. There's not much else to say about it. The supporting cast that you get, you've got Tracy Morgan and people like that. They're okay, but they don't give an awful lot to the movie. But I suppose they're just there really as tools for Charlie Day to bounce off, really, because he's just completely manic in his role at times. But yeah, ever since I saw the trailer for this, I thought this looked promising. And to be fair, it did turn out exactly as I expected it to do. It was very predictable. But I would say the payoff at the end, I mean, it wouldn't be much of a movie if they teased a fist fight and there wasn't one. What they give is enjoyable and fun and realistic. You know, it doesn't suddenly turn into Rocky by the end of the movie. So yeah, if you're wanting a decent laugh and a chuckle, this is a good comedy to watch. It ain't going to change your world. It's not going to be in your top 10 comedies, but it is certainly not a disappointment.